Hey guys, welcome back. If you've never seen me before and this mysterious YouTube algorithm has put my face in your feed, hello and thanks for watching. I create content about personal finance, not from the perspective of a financial professional, but from the viewpoint of somebody who has once been terrible with money and has spent countless hours learning how to manage it and also to help it grow for the future. As we're so close to Christmas and the new year, I wanted to create a short video that gave you 5 practical tips to save money and clear debt in 2022. Before the intro hits though, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you get anything useful from this video, please hit the like button. So I've been thinking quite a lot recently about people in the online personal finance community or space online and how they've grown a large audience so quickly. Some of them, and I won't name names, have been creating content for years and are now getting the recognition that I think they deserve. Others though, on the other hand, appear to be overnight successes in the space, and I've noticed a trend. The people that overpromise and tell you that boring consensus of having a strong financial foundation isn't the way to go are luring people in with clickbait. They will tell you that the way to go is to take a massive risk and it might pay off. You know, the TikTokers and YouTubers, they do everything they can to be the opposite just to get views. As funny as it is, I get Instagram and TikTok messages almost daily from Forex traders and Bitcoin scammers promising me the world. And truthfully, sometimes I reply to them and get as far as I can down that little rabbit hole to see their tactics, and I'll be honest, it's pretty sickening. The truth and the sad part about it is some people, because they don't understand much about the financial space and personal finance, it works and people get hooked. Please don't fall for it. I talk about everything I've learned that actually works. I know that because I've done it. All 5 of the tips I'm about to go through a few years ago I did not know or put into practice. And now I do every single one of them. And my financial situation is going from strength to strength. Right, anyway, enough of that. Let's get going with my 5 tips for saving money and paying off debt in the new year. Firstly, you need a budget. The golden rule of personal finance is to spend less than you earn. It seems obvious, but not many people do it. The only way you will know if you're spending less than you earn is by keeping a personal balance sheet, also known as a budget. Don't be put off by the boring name of a budget. By putting your income versus your outgoings onto paper or a spreadsheet, you'll be forced to face the truth. Do what you can to lower your outgoings. It might seem easier said than done, but from my experience, you could shave off a fair bit each month by cancelling unused subscriptions and lowering your TV package to what you actually watch. Once you've lowered your outgoings as much as you can, focus on increasing your income by working overtime or starting a side hustle. I recommend a zero-based budget. This is where you allocate every single penny of your income before the month begins. And don't forget, this includes a category for fun money. Do not forget that you need to enjoy this money. Put it in your budget. Because the reality is you're going to want to enjoy your money, but you need to allocate how much you're going to spend on that. Otherwise, you're not going to keep track of your budget. Check out the video above if you want to go deeper into the subject of budgeting. Okay, tip number 2, you're going to want to use the Debt Snowball. There are multiple strategies and methods to pay off consumer debt, but the one that I personally use and recommend is known as the Debt Snowball. This method requires you to face all of your debt head on. You're going to want to find out who you owe money to and how much you owe them. So next, you're going to want to list your debts from lowest balance to highest, regardless of interest rate, and start throwing everything you can at the lowest debt, whilst continuing to pay the minimum payments on the rest. Sell unwanted, unused items to become debt-free quicker. This method is great to keep you motivated because you're likely to get a quick win by paying off debt quicker and closing accounts and cutting up those credit cards sooner than other methods. People argue that this isn't mathematically the best approach, but the best approach is the one you're going to do and that actually works. And I'm proof that it does. Next, you're going to want to separate your money. A great tip that I learned when learning about personal finance is to separate your money into different accounts or pots or spaces. Different banks call them different things. I recommend using a bank that allows these features. So challenger banks such as Starling and Monzo started this, but high street banks are catching up too. So you can set up a separate fund for known regular expenses such as a holiday, yearly car insurance or a wedding fund, let's say. By keeping this money separate, you're playing a psychological trick on yourself, making it feel like the money isn't even available to spend. This for me was a game changer on how I handled my money. The truth is, You're very good at playing tricks on yourself and convincing yourself that we use this spare money sitting in your account for something that you know you're going to need. However, human nature is to get that bank balance down to zero, or sometimes lower every single month. Having the ability to place pots of money into different areas within your main current account will help your spending habits as well as give you structure to your budgeting. Okay, so you're going to want to save for Christmas early. This point leads on perfectly from the last. Even though Christmas happens at the same time every single year, most people are panicking about money and how they're going to fund Christmas in November. The best way to have a stress-free Christmas is to work out what you want to spend next Christmas, divide it by 12, and start putting this money every single month into a separate fund named Christmas Fund. Start in January, trust me. Another tip here though is that you want to include all of your expenses relating to Christmas in this pot. So this can include presents, packaging, food, and any expected travel that you need to do to go and see loved ones. Trust me, if you do this, the future you will thank you. And finally, you're going to want to write a shopping list and stick to it. Seems obvious, right? Well, why don't you do it then? The truth is, most of us don't. Whatever you think you spend on your shopping, double it. For some people, triple it. And then you're probably going to be closer to the reality. Go back through your online banking or bank statements to see how much you really spend on average over the last 3 months. Not just on one shop, look at all the times you go to your local supermarket, because it's probably more than once a week. Once you've got over the shock and panic of realising how much you spend on food, choose a realistic amount to stick to every month. And it's important, it has to be realistic. Don't get excited and say, I'm only going to spend £50 this month. Choose a target that you know that you can do. You may have to adjust some things and prep food and bulk buy, but choose a realistic amount. Then, look how many weeks there are in the month and divide the amount by how many times you do a shop every single month. Now you have a target. This needs to be done every single month within your budget, because some months are different. And just for my shopping budget, I separate this into a separate space like I do with my Christmas fund. By doing this, I can track how much money I have left as I go through the month. And if I've only got £20 to spend at the end of the month, so be it. All that does is teach me to manage my budget better. And there you have it. There are my 5 tips to get you thinking about how to save, manage your money more effectively, and pay off debt next year. Each point deserves its own lengthy video, which I will do in due course. However, I really do hope that this gave you some actionable ways to improve your financial situation as of today. After you've hit that like button, make sure to let everybody else know your tips that you use on a daily basis below to help you manage your money better and get out of debt. Stay tuned for the next video.